Topic we are looking at today is inverse variation. The last class we treated direct variation, and the next one now is inverse variation. And after this, we'll be looking at joint variation, also known as mixed variation, and lastly, partial variation. But for this video, we're looking at inverse variation. Now, when we talk about inverse, so that we can understand the concept properly, if we are asked what is the inverse of 2 over 3, for instance, to start with 2 over 3, the inverse of 2 over 3 is 3 over 2. The inverse of 2 over 3 is 3 over 2. That is, we are turning 2 over 3 upside down. Okay, now let's proceed. What if we are asked to find the inverse of 5? You know, the number here is an odd number. Definitely, we can also turn it upside down. Then the question will be how. 5 is same thing as 5 over 1. So when we turn 5 over 1 upside down, we'll be having 1 over 5. That will be 1 over 5. So that's just one of the things we have to know about inverse. So let's move into what we have today. Let's move into what we have today. We are looking at inverse variation. Now, to start with, the first thing we have to know is the constant, which is represented by K, by alphabet K. Then we try to describe the equation by writing, we try to describe the relationship between the variables and the constant by writing an equation before we be able to find any unknown variable. Now, let's take it one after the other. Let's take an example to make it straightforward. Look at this now. We are breaking this down into finding the constant, describing the relationship by writing an equation, and before we'll be able to find the unknown. So let's move on. This question says find the constant if y varies inversely as x. Let's take it one after the other. If y varies as, so I'm having my y now, y varies, let me use equals to, y varies inversely as x. Now don't forget we have been told that the inverse of 5 is 1 over 5. So the inverse of x will be 1 over x. So when we look at this now, y varies inversely as x. So it won't be y equals to x, it will be y equals to 1 over x. So y varies as the inverse. Don't forget the inverse of x is 1 over x. The inverse of 9 is 1 over 9. So let's move on. Y varies inversely as x. Don't forget we have to multiply this by k. We have to multiply it by k. And when we have this, y equals to 1 over x times k will give us y equals to k. You can say 1k over x, but let's just simply write it as k over x. You know, 1 times k will give us 1k, but we can write that as k. So y equals to k over x. We've gotten that. Then let's proceed. We are being told that y is equals to 12. So anywhere I have y, I put 12. So 12 equals to, what is my k? We don't know k for now. So let's write this as k all over, the value of x here is 3, all over 3. So I'm having 12. I can write that 12 as 12 over 1 to make it look like a fraction, like what we have in the right hand side. So 12 over 1 is equals to k over 3. Then, how can we find the constant, which is k? We can do this by cross multiply. K times 1 will give us k. Then 12 multiplied by 3 k is equals to 12 multiplied by 3. And what is 12 multiplied by 3? That is 36. So the constant here is 36. Okay, let's move to the second aspect. We have to write the equation. Before we can write any equation, before we can describe the relationship between the variables and the constant, the first thing to find is also the constant in this kind of question. So let's first of all find the k before we can describe the relationship. So suppose y varies inversely as x. Y varies, this is the symbol for varies, like we learned in the previous video, the direct relation. So y varies, let me still use the sign, later I will change it to equals to. Y varies inversely as x, that will be 1 over x. The inverse of x is 1 over x. Don't forget, multiplied by what? Multiplied by k. Given that y is equals to 5, so let me now turn this to numbers now. 5, y is 5. I will change the sign to equals to. Y is 5. But before I do this, don't forget k multiplied by 1 is k over x now. So 1 times k is k. So let me just write this one as k over x. So I can take the next line. So 5 equals to k all over, what is our x? Our x is 10. Okay, so 5 equals to k over 10. We can also write 5 as 5 over 1. So let's cross multiply. K multiplied by 1 is k, equals to 5 multiplied by 10 is 50. So we have gotten the value of k as 50. So since we've gotten our k, which is the constant, as 50, now let's describe the relationship between x and y in relation to the constant. So don't forget, what we have initially here is y varies as 1 over x times k. And I've told you that 1 times k will give us k all over what now? X. We can also write 1k, but in mathematics, we don't really need that one, except it's a number like 2, 5, and so on. But for 1, we can always discard it. So we have k alone. Now let's input the value we have now. The value we have now is saying k is equals to 50. So we can say the relationship is what? Y varies as 50 divided by x, 50 over x. So this is the relationship between y and x. So this is correct. It can also be written as y equals to 50 over x. So we are done with that. Let's look at the third example where we'll be applying all that we have done so far. That is, calculating the constant, describing the relationship by writing an equation, and lastly, solving for the unknown. So let's look at the first question here. This says y varies inversely as x. Y varies inversely as x. Let me write it as equals to for now. Y is equals to the inverse of x, 1 over x. Then we are told that y is 4. So let me say 4 over 1. Don't forget, I'm just trying to make it equal with the fraction we have at the right hand side. So don't forget, I'm just trying to make it, by saying 4 over 1, I'm trying to make it look like a fraction because I have a fraction at the right hand side. So I can as well write 4. So 4 over 1 is same thing as 4. So 4 over 1 is equals to 1 over x. 4 over 1 is equals to 1 over x. So from here now, to find, don't forget, before we move further, we have y is equals to 1 over x. Something is missing here. We have to multiply it with a constant. That is what? K. So by the time I multiply 1 and k, that will give me 1k. So instead of writing 1k, I can as well write k. So now the equation is in the proper form. 4 over 1 is equals to k over x. So let's proceed now. To find k, we cross multiply. K multiplied by 1, that will give us k equals to, what is the value of x? The value of x, I didn't input it initially. The value of x, or let me just do it like this. Sorry, let me go back to make the work look proper. Let me clean it from here and do it again. So I've jumped a step over there and it's not good enough. So let's go back to this. 4 over 1 is equals to k over the value of x. The value of x is 10. So when we cross multiply it now, k multiplied by 1 will give us k. So k equals to 4 times 10 gives us 40. So we found the value of the constant, which is what? 40. So let me clean the board now, just to put the value of k somewhere, so we can have enough space to calculate. So the constant is 40. So let me write it here, k equals to 40. Now, the next thing is to describe the relationship. And what we have initially is y equals to k over x. And if I want to write that, that will be y equals to, the k now is 40, then over x. So this is the relationship. So we've done two things now. We've found the constant. We've expressed the relationship as an equation. Now the last one is to solve for the unknown. I'll be making use of this relationship, this formula here, to solve the unknown. Y equals to 40 over x. So let me just clean this so we can see the question properly. So now the question now says, find, let me clean this so we can see the question. Find y when x equals to 8. So let's find the value of y when x equals to 8. So let's go now. Y, okay, y equals 40 over x, or let's simply say y equals 40 divided by x. Anywhere I find x, I will replace it or substitute it with 8. So I'm going to say y equals to 40 divided by 8, which is the value of x as stated in the question. So what is 40 divided by 8? That is 5. So y equals to 5. And as we can see, the answer derived here is 5. Let's see the last example. Let's see the last example. Okay, now this is a question. This is what I will do. You can pause the video, attempt this question, then when you are done, I'm going to do the workings, then you check if your answer is correct. So pause the video, attempt it before you continue with the video. Okay, so I believe you have attempted the question by yourself. I believe you've done that. So let me just do the correction. Let me try to divide the screen so we can have enough workspace. Okay, so going back to this color now, let's use another color now. Okay, y varies inversely as x. Y varies inversely as x, 1 over x. Don't forget to multiply k, and when I have that, that will simply means y, I'm going to change the sign now to equals to 1 multiplied by k will give me k, 1k, and I can write k alone, all over x. Y is equals to k over x. Let's take the question one by one. Y is equals to 15. So let's come here. Anywhere I have y, I will replace it with 15. Y is equals to 15. So 15 is equals to, I don't know the value of k yet, so let me write k. I know the value of x, which is 2. So 15 can be written as 15 over 1. So let's cross multiply. K times 1 gives us K. So K times 1 gives us K equals to 15 times 2 will definitely give us 30. We have found the value of K, which is our constant. Now let's proceed now to express the relationship between X and Y with an equation. Now, we're having this again. Y is equals to, the K now is 30. Y is equals to 30 divided by X. So don't forget, I picked it from this side. Y is equals to K over X. So I will simply replace the value of K with 30 that we got here. So that's why I have Y equals to 30 divided by X. So this is the relationship that we are going to use to find the unknown. Now let's move on. Find the value of Y when X equals to 6. Find the value of Y when X equals to 6. So let's go now. Y equals to 30 divided by X. X is 6 now, divided by 6. So let's divide it further. Y is equals to, what is 30 divided by 6? Answer is simply 5. So 30 divided by 6 gives us 5. So let's check the answer we have here. The answer here says Y equals to 5. Y equals to 5. So the second question is down here. You can attempt that by yourself and you check the answer if you are right. Question 2. The time t it takes to travel a fixed distance varies inversely with the speed s. If it takes 4 hours at 60 meter per hour, how long will it take at 80 meter per hour? So you can as well pause the video and attempt question 2. When you are done, I'm going to quickly show you the answer or work it out. But to save time, I'm going to just show you what the answer is. So just pause it and attempt the question. Okay, I believe you've done that. Let's look at what your answer ought to be, what you are expected to get as the answer. So if you have done the question properly, you are expected to get 3 hours. You are expected to get 3 hours. So okay, let me just quickly attempt it. Let me quickly attempt that question. Okay, I'll be fast with this. The time t, the time t it takes to travel a fixed distance. So t varies inversely as the speed s. So let me just say 1 over s. Then don't forget multiplied by the constant, which is k. So let's proceed now. That will give us, this is 1. So that will give us t. Let me change the sign now to equals to 1 multiplied by k will give us k divided by s over s. Now let's proceed now. We are given y to be we are given the time now. If it takes 4 hours, don't forget time is talking about t. So if it takes 4 hours, so that means anywhere I have t, I will replace it with 4. 4 equals to k over, now s here is talking about speed, 60 meter per hour. 60 meter per hour. So I will say over 60. Then to get our k, we simply cross multiply. K times 1 will give us k. Then 4 times 60 should be 240. 240. We've gotten the constant. Now let me just describe the relationship in this space here. I'm going to write an equation for the relationship between time and speed. So here we have t, which is our time. So the time varies. Let me use the symbol of varies inversely as the speed. Now, the constant is given already as 240. So instead of writing this k, I'm going to write the value of k we've gotten here, which is 240 all over what? S. So don't forget, when I'm trying to solve the question now, I'm going to write it as t equals to 240, 240, sorry, all over speed. So let's go to the question now. The question says, how long will it take at 80 meter per hour? That is, we should calculate the time. So the time now equals to 240, 240, which is the value of constant all over speed. The speed here is 80 meter per hour, so over 80. So let's cross it out. 0 divided by 0 cancel out 0. So we're having 24 over 8. T equals 24. T equals to 24 divided by 8. And of course, the time it will take will be 24 divided by 8. That should be 3. And since we are talking about hours initially, then we are going to make use of the unit hours. So that will be 3 hours. So I think that will be all for now. Please ensure you like this video to encourage us and make our videos to make our videos available for users that are searching for this kind of video. So please like this video, subscribe to our channel to have more of this video. I will say thank you and bye for now. If you have any question or you'd like to meet us as a person for our services, you can contact our mobile number. It is displayed under the screen now. You can see it. You can contact us for online videos, for online classes, or for questions when it's applicable. So thank you and bye for now.